Ladies and gentlemen, now today we're going to be taking up our very first 6-star champion up to rank 2, and that 6-star champion is a goddamn miracle. The 6-star version of Ghost, literally I was speechless when we pulled this champion in the Spider-Man crystal opening, and I still can't believe I got a 6-star version of Ghost, man. Arguably she is one of the best champions in the game, if not the best when it comes to certain scenarios and matchups. She's just so incredibly powerful. The phasing is absolutely amazing once you get a really good handle on it, and there's just so much this champion can do. Honestly, I couldn't really ask for a better champion to be my first 6-star rank 2, and I have been putting off rank 2ing 6-star champions for quite some time. Just when it comes to a lot of champions, there's so much benefit to having their awakened ability in a lot of signature levels. And don't get me wrong, I love Ghost Awakened ability. The ability to generate power whenever the opponent misses you is absolutely huge for this champion, but I wanted to make an investment, man, in the future, because we already have 1/3 of a tier 5 tech catalyst. So I need about 30,000 more fragments, and then we can take this lass up to rank 3, and if we got a 6-star Ghost at rank 3, man, you know, you pretty much won the video game. That's going to be a really good time. There have definitely been a few champions this year, like Mr. Sinister, Havoc, and Ebony Moore, that are very unfriendly to Ghost, but still there is, you know, 95% of the game's champions that Ghost absolutely dominates. So yeah, she's still an absolute force of nature when it comes to Marvel Contest of Champions endgame. Today we're going to be diving deep into Act 6 for the 6-star version of Ghost, just to test out this champion a little bit more and showcase what she can do as an unawakened 6-star champion, after a quick word from today's sponsors. It's hot this summer, but not as hot as Raid Shadow Legends. The game that gamers have been gaming is a gaming game that you can game on your gaming device. It's free to download, and it looks really good. Look at these characters, mate. Oh, wow, amazing. Do you like dragons and kings and fire demons, demons in fire? Well, download this game today. Raid Shadow Legends. Download it now. Yeah, it's done. If you could wire the money to the usual account, so the email address on the PayPal again is papaseatin69 at animecatgirls.co.uk. Yeah, it's animecatgirls.co.uk, not .com. You know, we've had that mistake in the past, so if you make sure you get the last part right. Yeah, great, I see it, thank you very much. And now that's out of the way, here's what I actually think about Raid. You know, it's a pretty awesome game. They've got a ton of cool features, man. The graphics look absolutely amazing. This is definitely, without question, one of the best looking mobile games on the market right now. There are a lot of cheap-ass mobile developers out there that don't want to pay good money to artists and animators, but Raid is not one of those games, man. They've spent a lot making sure this game looks absolutely phenomenal. On top of that as well is the gameplay in Raid Shadow Legends. Now, you already have hundreds of champions that you can choose from, but also there's deep customization in terms of the mastery and artifact system. There's a lot of very quirky and interesting ways you can build champions around artifacts. So for example, this set Frost here gives attackers a 20% chance to freeze themselves when they attack into you, but that's not it, man. There are so many more sets that do all sorts of stuff, like give you a chance for a health shield, retaliate, give you regeneration each turn, regenerate based on damage dealt. There's so much to the artifact system and customization in this game, which I think is really cool. An absolutely massive thank you for Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring today's video, and keep an eye out because we're going to be doing some more Raid Shadow Legends gameplay in the near future. Now, I wanted to start off by testing out Ghost against some of the most stacked opponents in Act 6 Chapter 2 in the final quest. So I'm going to start off with Starknart's Spider-Man Showcase Abomination, Morningstar, Human Torch, Iceman, and a couple more as well. First off, playing around with the 6-star version of Rank 2, I really do miss the awakened ability of the 5-star version. Being able to generate power just allows you to kind of ramp up and get into that special 2 much faster, and also the ability to start phasing as soon as you enter the fight is really valuable, just helps you kind of get into that rhythm straight away on the opponent, and also immediately removes the debuffs from suicide masteries, you know, the bleed and the poison. Whereas with the unawakened version, if you're paying close attention, you'll notice I start every single fight by dashing back, so you know, it's got to be done. But there are 3 big advantages to taking up the 6-star version instead of the 5-star version, and these 3 really made me, you know, make this decision to rank up the 6-star instead of the 5-star. So the first one is the adrenaline mechanic that 6-star champions have. So if you take any damage, you kind of get this like glowing bar, and you can hit back into the opponent to regenerate some of the health that you just took in damage. So that can be, you know, a really nice mechanic on top. Also the fact that 6-star champions at rank 2 have about 5 to 7% more stats than a fully maxed out 5-star champion. So the 6-star, you know, fully maxed out has about 150 more attack, and also a little bit more health as well. And then finally the fact that one day I'm going to awaken the 6-star version of Ghost, hopefully, and also be able to take this lass up to rank 3, which is going to be a much higher power level than a maxed out 5-star version. Plus, I guess as well, you know, there's that thing of like Kabam adding in all these super fun, you know, you've got to be a 6-star champion to pass this gate. So I thought Ghost would be a really good investment for those gates in the future as well, because she's, you know, ridiculously OP, so that's a really great time. So yeah, that was actually 4 reasons, but just to, you know, give you guys the rundown, investment for the future, I thought was important because my roster is pretty stacked at the moment, so it's good to start kind of building up and focusing on ranking up a few 6-star champions. And Namor, he might be next. I'm a little bit, you know, going back and forth on Namor, because Namor's awakened ability is just absolutely essential if you really want to play the champion to a high level, and also having a lot of levels in Namor is very essential as well. So I'm very happy that we have the 6-star unawakened one, but until I can get him awakened and also get him fairly high sig level as well, I don't know if he's going to be doing like that much for me, so I'm going a little bit back and forth on that. If you're watching the screen right now, you might be able to see that the last 2 matchups, you know, pretty good matchups. There's a lot of damage output, especially when there's some form of like debuff being applied to you, and you can just like phase back, remove that debuff, convert it into like a 50% fury, and especially if you have like a 5 or 6-star version, this fury is really big, and then just chuck all that damage back at the opponent. It's just a win-win scenario. Also on this next node, so Human Torch starts with like Incinerate both on him and also Ghost, so we immediately shrug it off by phasing, but also now he has a stack of Smolder, so we have a 10% chance when attacking into him to get an Incinerate debuff on us. However, we can just dash back to phase that one off. I think I kind of like messed up going back in after that special one there, but you know, it's not a bad fight so far. Like we're dealing some fairly nice damage. Really just need to build up to a special 2, and if you do have a 5-star rank 5 Ghost or a 6-star one at rank 2, there aren't really that many opponents, even in content like Act 6, that can survive past the first special 2, especially if you've got like boost on for progression as well. So, you know, it's a pretty good time. At this point in the run, we've taken down already 4 champions that each have their own ways to be a little bit problematic, with all sorts of poison, bleed damage, incinerate damage, Starkanaut, Spider-Man's evade. But the next matchup is one of my favorites against Iceman. This one was just buttery smooth. I absolutely love it, and it really does show that I'm getting a little bit better at playing Ghost. I'm still nowhere near like a really good player, but I would say the last time I made a Ghost video, I was pretty rubbish, man, like a D- player. But now I'm a B- player, I reckon. So, you know, I'm getting there, man. I've still got a long way to go to become a little bit more consistent and better at playing Ghost. But she really is one of those champions you need to practice, and then practice some more, because you don't realize how much of a crazy skill cap there is to being a really good Ghost player until you've really played this champion extensively. And depending on the matchup, there are like different ways to play Ghost as well. So in certain like heavy evade matchups, you can do one hit, like phase back, one hit, but you really need to like time those intercepts well, or phase intercepts, or whatever you want to call them. So it does take, you know, a lot of practice to get very good at being a versatile Ghost player. And if you really want to take her into endgame content, Alliance War, those are the skills that you need to hammer home in order to be very successful. So I'm sure, you know, over the course of the next 3 to 6 months, probably the next few years, there are going to be plenty of Ghost mistakes on the channel. But, you know, it's all part of the fun, man. It's all part of the fun. Next up, we've got a very stacked 220k Dormammu. So the plan here with Dormammu's degeneration is to kill him before he kills us, which is a really, really good time. And if you're playing like Ghost fairly aggressively, you can see here we haven't generated like any buffs, we haven't had to use dexterity so far, so there has been nothing that Dormammu can turn into degeneration when it expires, which is a really nice time, man. However, we just got one cruelty, but you can see the cruelty, you know, has some fairly nice duration. Here I see kind of an opening to do a couple of heavy attacks and then chain on a special 2 to hopefully get a mega special 2 and take this man down. And hey, the strategy paid off. That was a really, really good time. So that was 2 crits of 38,000 followed by 1 of 59,000. So I think total that was about 135,000 damage, which is, you know, it's a lot of damage, lads. It's big old damage there. Now, this next matchup against Vision, I really wanted to showcase the hood synergy, because I messed up. I messed up a little bit in this one, man. But I'm only human, you know, it happens now and again. I'm certainly not a robot. I forgot to just dash back at the start there. I was a little bit slow, so yeah, that was a little bit embarrassing. But you know what? We're going to move on from that one. As you can see, we're back in the fight. We're coming swinging. We're going hard, boys. We managed to dodge 3 hits there and retaliate. So your boy, you know, he's becoming a bit of a pro Ghost player, even though, you know, there's not really like any benefit to doing that without the awakened ability. It's still a little bit fun to do. Here we fire off the special 2, try to get him down, but then we phase. So while we have the phase up and the hood synergy, you are completely immune to taking damage on Ghost. So if you phase back, then you can tank special 3s, and it's a really good time. Couple more retaliation hits on Vision, and hey, straight in the bin, boys. So not a bad result overall. We did win, it was a victory, but let's jump into a slightly different chapter now and go for the Enquiries one. The Enquiries one, I just wanted to show you guys like a few fights from this one, because it is so cheesy when it comes to Ghost. Like, she's the ultimate counter for this chapter. Between her and Captain Marvel, they just absolutely dominate it, because phasing back removes the degeneration and just converts it to Fury. So you just, you know, easy win, mate. Easy win. I would currently rank Ghost as one of the top 3 champions overall for Act 6 Chapter 2 and Act 6 Chapter 1 as well, man. She's just so incredibly good for so many different fights and so many different nodes. She's a lot of cheesy application if you are a very skilled player, but the Enquiries chapter, she just makes so easy. I would say that Ghost is pretty much on the same level as Captain Marvel. Some people are arguing Ghost is maybe a little bit better than Captain Marvel for Enquiries, but they are both, you know, absolutely insane options that burst opponents down in under 20 hits, so it really isn't a problem. Like, either one is really good. Look at this absolutely beautiful Medusa matchup there. She went for the auto block, denied with a special 1, and straight inside of the bin. Now, to showcase a couple of really cool fights from the Destructive Feedback chapter. So first up, we have Mordo. So this is the one, whenever you hit into the opponent and they've got the yellow shield, they store that damage, and if it expires, they take that damage, but if they hit you, then you take that damage. And Ghost is particularly valuable for this chapter, just because you're phasing, so you don't need to rely on parry a lot of the time, and the Mordo matchup is just absolutely beautiful, as you can see here. Most of the time we're just dashing back and he's like throwing his special 1 into our phase, which is perfect. Get a nice little cheeky phase intercept there, slam down a special 2. So I got 4 stacks of cruelty. I know that one's hit really hard, so I'm just kind of like dodging him. Destructive Feedback expires and this whole man's career has been ended just like that, you know, in a split second, lads. So way to go, Ghost. That was a really good Mordo matchup, and also you have the safety net in the Mordo matchup with the hood synergy of if you phase back, again, you're going to completely ignore all of the damage from the special 3. So originally, like, going toward that matchup, I was like, oh, I can showcase the hood synergy, but that just went so well with like Mordo throwing his special 1s into my phasing that we didn't even get that far, man. But to show you another fight with a class disadvantage against Ronan here, you can just really see why Ghost is one of the most perfect champions for the Destructive Feedback chapter, because you don't really need to worry about the opponent making contact with you if you're staying on point with the phasing. It's just, you know, waiting for the opponent to fire off their special attacks and like jump into you. Lining up a nice little special 2 here on Ghost, so we get 27k, 27k, and 32k. And what I love about Ghost, she's just so satisfying in terms of, you know, weaving weaving in and out of the opponent and getting those guaranteed crits for some massive damage on the special too. She truly is one of those champions that is just such a treat to play. So, I tip my hat off. Whoever designed Ghost, man, they knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing to make a really, really good champion. And then to end the video, I wanted to showcase a bit of an interesting interaction of Ghost in a certain chapter in Act 6, Chapter 1. So this is the chapter where you regenerate if you're near the opponent, but if you're away from them, you start to degenerate. However, with the Hood synergy, you can have this like grace period while you're phasing of not taking any damage at all from the degeneration. So it actually heavily mitigates this node by quite a fair amount, which I thought was really, really cool. Like, I didn't even think about this synergy in this chapter, but I think for the close encounters node, like, Ghost is just one of the best options. I swear, thinking about the Act 6 node, she's just so good. Like, she's great for the first quest, she's great for the third one, the fourth one, quest number 5 as well. She's not, amazing for that, but she can work all right. Quest number 6, like, everything's going to be dead by a special 2, so she works fine for that one. And then the next chapter, nothing too special for the first one, really good for the second if you can do one hit and phase. Quest number 3, Enquiries, she's amazing for. Quest number 4, destructive feedback, she's really good for. Quest number 5, you have the intercept node, which is amazing because you can like phase intercept and that will remove 2 of the damage back things. So yeah, across Act 6, man, she's just, so insane for like so many different nodes. But as you saw there, we absolutely spanked that Night Thrasher. However, I wanted to show a pretty cool matchup, which is the Sentinel one with Ghost, and this one is really, really fun. I think one of the biggest advantages to this matchup, because as Sentinel, ramps up a fair bit, he's going to gain resistance to crit, and the thing is with a guaranteed crit, that's always going to bypass the crit resistance, even when he does have, a few stacks of analysis there. We didn't have quite the beautiful phase on that special one, but we're doing alright here, just in a couple of cheeky combos to make sure he doesn't gain any stacks of analysis, while we build up to the special 2. Again, it doesn't really matter too much if he does gain stacks of analysis. Now we're about to build up to the special 2, so I got a Fury off the heavy attack just so we can combo, dash back, special 2, and then have plenty of damage for the overkill there. So yeah, really easy Act 6 Sentinel matchup. Just honestly makes like half of these fights look like Act 4 matchups. It really is just that crazy. Then we got the final matchup, Loki, and I had a bit of a rough start to this one at some point, man. I think I get like beaten up at the start, but then once we get this match back on track, like I play like an absolute god. So here we're doing quite well. We got the phase. I shouldn't have dashed back there. I should have dashed into him. So that was the mistake that I made. We got the parry, and the thing is, whenever you get a parry with Ghost, you always want to try and throw a heavy attack just to get the Fury. And here we're phasing like an absolute beast. We fire off a special 2, get 30k, 30k, 40k. So that was 100k special 2 combined. Managed to completely phase that special 2, and this man is just, he's dead, mate. He's dead. We're just phasing through all the special attacks now, and champions are really quick special attacks like Loki are the absolute best because you can dominate them and just have a really good time. Now that brings us to the end of today's video. Massive shout out to all of you for watching and getting this far, and if you did enjoy today's video, please do smash that like button, and also a massive shout out once again to the sponsors of today's video, Raid Shadow Legends. Certainly appreciate those lads, let me have a little bit of fun with the sponsorship and making some terrible jokes, but if you did enjoy those, please do check out the game. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any Ghost tips or tricks, let me know in the comment section below, ones that we might have missed. But aside from that, thank you so much for watching, take care, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic day.